Thank you for tuning into Devos. All right, all this month here, we're talking about the family. And this past week, I was talking about discipline. Now, we were looking at disciplining our children, but I don't want to talk about that in devotions, okay? So I want to talk about you disciplining yourself. So I want to ask you a question here. Are you out of control? See, I know some of you are like, wow, you're reading my mind. Are you out of control? And I'm talking with you with things you're doing, problems you have. Look at Hebrews 12, verse 6. The Lord disciplines the one he loves and chastises every son whom he receives. Now, I read that this last weekend. Of course, now we'll look at children, but this year's not just talking about children. This is talking about adults. And so, yeah, sometimes we are 40, 50 years old, and God's taken us to the woodshed. Okay, and the reason why, because we're out of control. There's things we're doing we shouldn't be doing, and we just keep on doing it. Things that are hurting us, things that are in a form of idolatry. It's hurting our health. It's hurting others. Bad habits, sinful habits. So let me ask you, are you out of control? What is self-discipline? That's what we're talking about all week. Okay, this is a big subject. Every single person listening to me needs this to some sort of degree, because it's real easy in our flesh just to give in to life. Just do what we feel and not to do that which is right, or to be involved in things that are hurting us. Okay, so self-discipline. It is the ability to keep oneself under control. This is a really big deal. And as believers, through the Spirit of God, we have that ability. Look here, 1 Corinthians 7:9. Now, especially people that, you're in a divorce. Okay, so, if let's say your spouse cheated on you or they passed away. Well, the Bible says that you can remarry. Okay, but do you know that God's more graceful than that? Let's say your spouse didn't do anything. Let's say it was all your fault and you've repented and you've come back to the Lord. The Bible says for certain reasons you probably still should marry, even though Paul says it would be better to remain unmarried and devote your time to God. But look what it says. But if they cannot exercise self-control, let's talk about sexually, they should marry. Do you see that? So Paul's talking about all the different things, reasons why they should marry, and they should stay single, because Paul was single, and that's fine. But he says, but if you can't control yourself sexually, then you should marry. Why? For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. When you have a problem or you have an addiction and it's taking over your life, that's all you can think about. Okay, so people that are into porn, I mean, it runs and ruins their life morning, noon, and night, and tortures them. And this is what the devil wants, because it keeps you from being fully dedicated and living for God. Okay, so self-discipline is doing what needs to be done even if you don't want to do it. Now, that's what it means to walk by faith. Just do what you're supposed to do. Look at 1 Corinthians 10:13. I love this verse. No temptation, okay, that thing that's getting to you, has overtaken you that is not common to man. What you're going through is what most people go through at some point, or some people are being tormented as you are. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide a way of escape that you may be able to endure it. So if you're going through a trial, if you're going through a temptation, whatever it may be, your whole life is out of control right now, God will give you a way of escape if you turn to him. So this week, I want you to say, God, I want to be under control. I want self-discipline in my life. I want to overcome that problem. And I pray this week that God's healing will be upon you.